to go through. But has anyone been matched and met their Bob person? Just put your hand up if you've actually been introduced and you've had your first meeting. Has anyone done that yet?
Not yet, actually.
Oh, when is it?
Post Wednesday, I think.
Oh, I thought Roz has already met her one. And Heb said she met hers as well.
I met, but that's about it.
Yeah, okay. So
Says,
they're all in process then, cool. Well, Raven has, and I suppose they're all on social star clients, so they're starting to go through that process. So I put a call out for some help with an event, and Raven, thank you very much for coming on. It was very much, and Xavier, they came along and met all our social star clients and at Alexander Spencer, and got a nice social star polo shirt from Pallone Supply, which Pearly runs. I'm sure we'll agree the quality was very high level.
Thanks. Thanks for the feedback. We need to do another batch, Andrew.
Yeah, we need to do another batch, and then we're going to run out. And I just wanted to say that we are doing more events. So that was client events. With this, the next round is Bob events. So this is actually where you can come and network face to face with people. There's one next Thursday in Melbourne. Now, we are asking you to buy a ticket just because spaces are limited. So it's kind of for people who really want to come. If we made it free and everyone came, we wouldn't be able to fit in any clients. So that's kind of the way we have to run it. And every Bob event we've ever run has been a small ticket price just because it costs money to run it. And believe it or not, CampusLife is a social enterprise. We don't actually make any funds out of it. In fact, I've put a lot of money into it thus far. So, you know, we do need to keep the costs sort of reasonable. But we have given you a big discount code, so it's in the chat. Now, so the Melbourne one is next Thursday, then the Thursday after is Brisbane, and then at the end of October, the 31st, I think it is, we're running one in Sydney. Only just announced, only just decided today. So that's a slightly different event. It's not a Bob event, it's actually a social star event. But for those in Sydney, we will be looking for some support on that. So if you're in Sydney, maybe contact Mamina and we'll connect you up with the person. We've got another worker who's in charge of that, who's in Brisbane. Her name's Mahi. So she doesn't come on these calls, I don't think, no. So that's the sort of general update. Now, today what I want to do is talk about what your first role will be with your Bob people. And also, if you do start working with clients, this is an opportunity for you to help them in areas that they probably maybe haven't thought about, which is creating a marketing plan. Now, if you've studied marketing, and I studied marketing when I was back in uni, I used to write heaps of plans, but it seems like you don't do that as much in these days. I don't know if that's true or not, but when I left uni, I used to write marketing plans for money for people while I was still studying, just on the side. And I get paid quite a lot. I remember I got paid like $2,000 and wrote a marketing plan 20 years ago. And so that was for one of the football clubs. And they implemented all of those. Medallion Club, that's what it's called, the Medallion Club in Melbourne, which is a sporting sort of club for the marketing manager. So point being is that marketing plans are a really important part of your learning, and we're going to go through our marketing plans and how we write them and how you can use them. Now, the template you get might be slightly different from this one. I'm just showing you an example. You can modify and change them. They're not all the same. So they don't have to be exactly word for word the same slides. You can add things in for that particular client, or you can change and refine them depending on the circumstance, right? However, all marketing plans follow a basic structure. Can we just go into maybe go into the grid view before you go into the present, Pelly? Sorry. Just go into the grid view because I just want to show the number of slides, please. Yeah. So as you'll see from when Pelly gets back in, there's 85 slides in this. So our marketing plans are very comprehensive. Now, we sell these to our clients for about $2,500. Okay, for a social star client. For Bob, we don't do that. it's included in complimentary. So just press the Rubik's Cube down the bottom so I can see the grids. That one. Pearly, where are you going? The grid, that one, yeah. Okay, so no, go to the top. I want to see it from the start. So what I want to show you is, so what we always do, we're going to show you the competitor analysis because that's probably the bit that we want to focus on today, but I just want to show you the slides that we have. So obviously we have a title slide, right? And that title slide is important that you put their logo on it so you know who it is, right? Ensure that you rename the slide deck so that you are saving not over the template, but you're saving a fresh version of that, okay? Just basic sort of file management. We do these in Canva, and we just find that this is pretty easy. We will be setting up a CampusLife Canva Pro account for you, okay? And we'll be putting the template in there for you. I haven't done it yet, but it's all in process. So you do the title slide, then you've got context. Now this is background. Now this is what we call the brief. This is what they've asked us to do. Okay, we're writing a marketing plan for these reasons to do these things. Okay, so it might be we're going to launch a business. It could be we've got a business, want to improve the marketing. Could be want to increase sales. Whatever is the goal and objective. Now then we go through the problem, which is essentially what they're trying to overcome with a marketing plan. Okay. We don't have a lack of sales, we have no technology, we don't have a brand launch, whatever it is the problem, okay? So the vision and the mission in our context, we've been through that through the Bob course, which is the vision for the entrepreneur and the mission for the business, okay? Long and short-term goals. Then we get into the marketing part, okay? So there we would have done all that. The target market, right? Just marketing 101. A target market is a group of individuals that is big enough to fulfill the business objective. Okay, there's enough of them, but small enough to be niche. Okay, all businesses have to niche. But if your client says, "Oh, I'm going to work with everybody," that is not true because you can't possibly work with everybody, and your marketing is ill-defined if it's everybody. Okay, it could be a product that everyone could buy, but your marketing needs to be targeted towards a certain group of people, and that's what your target market is, okay? So this is where you've got to learn to work with your client to ask good questions and refine and not push back, but more adjust their thinking, okay? Because I get this all the time, oh, we're dealing with everybody. Anybody could be a client. I go, great. So huge clients? Oh, no. Tiny? No, not them. What about these ones? No, I don't work with them. Let's work on who you do want to target rather than all these questions of who you don't, okay? Then we go into buyer avatars, and you can see that a buyer avatar, there's 4 of them that we have in ours. Now, the reason why we have 4, you could have 3, you could have 2, you could have 1, right? It depends on the business, okay? You got to think, this is where we're after you to be critically thinking. Think about their business model. Do they have different products? Do they have a double-sided marketplace? And what that means is we've got buyers and sellers. So if they're a platform and they've got end consumers and they've got people who sell to end consumers, but they're providing the platform, they've got 2 target markets, right? It's a different sales proposition for each, okay? They might have, parents and children, different target markets, okay? So if I was selling university services, I'd be selling to the parents and I'd be selling to the student. The student wants to do it, but the parents are probably going to pay for it, right? Different target markets, different marketing, different channels, etc. That's where the buyer avatars come in as well. Now, a target market is a broad set of descriptions. A buyer avatar is a singular person who is the best fit, right, that we want to target. And the reason you do that is because then you get into emotions, okay? So what would this person like? How do they feel? How do they behave? What are the platforms they're most likely to use, okay? So we go through this process with the client. They're unlikely to have all this filled in, or even if they do, I want you to review it and see if you can add value and make it better, okay? This is where research could come in. Great. You'll want to target this group. Okay, what's the geography? Is there enough people in that geography? You can go and Google demographics in a suburb, right? You can do lots of different things to add value to this, right? Okay, then we get into the competitors, okay? So maybe just click on make it bigger now, Pearl, we get into this section. So the competitors is where you actually do the research, okay? So a lot of people won't have this filled in. Now, you should always ask them who they think their competitors are. That's a really good thing to do. And they might say, oh, these people, and these people. However, we've got to use our critical thinking and go, okay, well, who else is the competitors? Now, the way I always do it is when I'm running a marketing plan, I'm acting as the consumer. So I will Google them and I'll Google the topic. So let's say this is business coaching, right? So Bob's a business coaching program. So I will Google business coaching and I'll go, who comes up? Because who comes up is your competitor, right? That's what the customer's going to see. So they might not think they're the competitor, but from a customer's perspective, it is. This is when we can have some great dialogue with the business owner and go, oh, you know, have you thought about these people? When I Google them, look at this. You know, you could add a screenshot of Google in here before this slide. So to give them that context, that's when you can modify the deck, right? For these ones, we look through these. This is a nice way to lay it out. Just some dot points, some links, nice, easy to see, you know, and all you have to do is change the logos and the links, right? So you can just replicate these templates. Then we go into the next one. Then we add a bit more detail about that. And so we have descriptions. And so this is how they describe themselves. And the key is that at the bottom, we have takeaways, okay? So it's not just information, right? It's interpretation and knowledge. That's what we want to do. Here's all the competitors, here's what we think, right? And then we go even further. I've got some more because there's, for us, we're comparing the founders and the businesses, because when I'm selling Bob, I'm a big part of that. Every single person is a big part of that sale. For your company, it may not be. That just might be a company level sale, or it could be more focused on the individual, right? Depends on the brands. Remember, 3 brands in any business: people, business, and products. We may just do 3 levels if that was the case. In business coaching, the product per se is not really that comparable, okay? Because it's not a physical product. All right, so then we put that into a perceptual map, okay? So we've already got this organized, and the axes, the Y and X axes is up to you to think about, okay? Oh, what happened? Oh, we've got 2, sorry. I thought you just changed it. So there's the axes are up for you to do, okay? So this is when we think logically. What are the key parameters in that market? Is it price? You know, is it quality? Is it, you know, is it distance? Is it range of products? You know, this is where you have to think about things and go, what are the differentiators? What's going to make the difference in that business to put on that map so that it makes sense for the client, right? So we did this and we went, here's where we are and here's where we want to be, okay? So we could be exactly where we want to be. We don't want to move, that's fine, but they might want to change, right? This goes back to the problem definition way back at the start. If the problem is we're not highly recognized, or we're not getting the business, or we're not winning in the marketplace, we could suggest a move, right? Now you can already see this requires a bit of thinking, okay? We're not asking you to do this by yourself. We want you to try and to make an attempt, share with your buddy, workshop. They might have different thinking, right? And then you need to show us. And Pearlie will talk about how that works in a minute, right? We're going to help you with this, all right? Because it's very important, right? But we're not going to do it for you. Don't just come and go, I don't know what to do with competitors. 131. Great. I want to see a draft, and then we can refine. It's exactly how we work in my company, okay? The team does the draft, and I look at it, and I query, and I refine, and I analyze it from a critical point of view and try and improve it, okay? Because if you want to get a job in marketing and work, you know, in a role like our marketing coordinators, you've got to have the capability to be able to write one of these from a draft perspective. We're not expecting to be perfect. We just expect you to do the work, the 90 and 80% of the work, so I can do the 10%, okay? That's why we have staff. Otherwise, I'd just do it myself. They actually do it far better than me, I must say. So if you go to the next one. Okay, so this is the points of difference, right? So remember we talked about, you know, we've highlighted things and we've made an indication that we want you to go there. These are the points of difference we think are going to win the marketplace. And it doesn't have to be 5. We've just chosen 5 in this case, right? So as you can see, for Bob, having you lovely Campus Life interns, which should be one word, by the way. This is an old deck.
Sorry.
That's all right. So I pick up little things. Pick up there. Is a differentiator, and it is, right? We've had really good feedback about working with you guys, which is awesome. The other differentiation is personalized. So I actually present the classes, right? In the other, the more, the businesses have been around longer, they don't present it. They get their teams to present it. And you know what? I probably won't present it forever because I'm only one person, but at the moment, that's a differentiator for us. Cool. Next. Now, you're not going to get that from me, you have to find that out, okay? So this is our current value proposition, which wasn't very refined because, this was new, and this is another one, but we actually changed it just recently. So we've got an even new one. But Key, just stay on the slide. One thing we want to do is we're going to present to them a value proposition that is crafted and designed, okay? So this is an example of one. This is a picture of me coaching some people, and we've got the tagline. We've actually changed it now. We've sort of kept honing, refining. It doesn't have to be the client, I mean, we hope the client goes, that's perfect, but it's unlikely. But if they look at it and go, oh, okay, that's good, because they probably don't have any of this stuff, right? So the more work we do, that it's so much easier to edit than to create. So if we took this and then we edited and refined and edited and talked about it and went back and forth and come up with something that's really cool that I didn't know. I was going in a completely different direction. The team come up with it. I'm like, oh, I actually like that. So we've now got a new one, right? It should be short, just by the way. So whenever you have a tagline, it should be short, sort of 5 words. Aim for that. Okay. Okay. So now we go into how we can position and some creative work, right? So what we're looking for is some examples to bring the idea to life. Okay, so if you keep going, we'll see some examples. Yeah, and you might want to use inspiration from someone else. Now, inspiration doesn't have to be a competitor. It could be someone who's doing it well in a different industry or similar, so forth. It might not be someone they go to, but it could be someone you aspire to be, okay? And then we go, okay, so this is how we got the idea and this is how we bring it to life. So these are potential posts, okay? So, and this is an old deck. This is, when did we do this? 6 months ago? Something?
Yeah, I think so. 6 months ago now.
Yeah, and so, we revamp this every 6 months, right? Or around there. And so we've already implemented all this stuff. Like we've done, this was the last class, what do we call it? Showcase day that we did. And we've been building and refining since then. But you can see the structure, right? Makes sense. Then if you keep going, we've got the marketing activities. So this is yep. So events we run. You won't always have events. What else have we got there? We got content in there. Yeah, you won't have events. So this is a bit more specific to us.
Yeah, this is like a complicated deck.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Do you want to show some of the content pieces though? I want to see. Yeah. So you won't have all of these things. Actually, put the sales bit in there. Oh, yeah, this is good. Yeah. So this is an important part that we have, which is how we go to the content. Can you move a minute, just for a second? So then we go into content. All of your clients, the main thing I want you to focus on, apart from the research, the positioning, which is the competitors and all that sort of stuff, is content. Okay. It's unlikely you'll run events. It's unlikely you'll run ads. You won't. That's probably too advanced for any of these people. What you want to do is start with content. So we always go through this process, and we start with the attraction sales funnel, and we go through and we maybe go back a couple of slides, Pearly. So we start from there. So we start with, this is the methodology, because they should already know this because it's in their training, but it's always good to start with that. Then the next one, we go through and we map their numbers. And this is something you can do with them is go, great, how many sorry, go back a slide. What are your sales you want, right? And this is just maths. You've done this, or you might not have done this yet, but you'll do this training. In the middle goes how many clients they want per month or per period, generally per month. Then you just do the maths. It's 4 times for the next one, 10 times for the next one, 10 times for the next one, right? That just gives them numbers, right? And then you go, well, how are we going to get those numbers? Okay, and then we go out to the cold phase. So, and this is being updated now. I've got a new deck for this, so it looks slightly different. But in the cold phase, we go, great, what are you going to do? Now, they're unlikely to do ads, but they'll probably do something like LinkedIn outreach. And LinkedIn outreach is probably an activity that you'll get to do for most of your clients, just because it's a great strategy. But it could be outreach on other social media. You know, it could be helping to get them on podcasts. You know, it could be partnerships, right? Email partnerships where you send an email out to their database and they'll send an email to your database as a swap, right? So there's all these things that we will help you with in, you know, this is real marketing, right? This is when rubber hits the road. Then we go to, so we can go to the next slide, Pearly. So that's the cold. How do we get new clients? LinkedIn, outreach and so forth. Here's some examples. Then we go to the next one, warm. Okay, this is you guys again. Writing blogs, writing social media, doing posts, you know, video if you've got the capability, right? Someone's got to create this content. Now, it might not just be you. You could be getting assistance from us with some of our clients, or the client might have some capability themselves. It's not like go and do things without any consultation, okay? We have a process to collect content on behalf of people, and each one's slightly different in terms of their tone and so forth, but we have a structure of one post a week. One high impact post a week is our goal, not 50 posts, okay? So the volume is low, the attention to quality is high, okay? It's not TikTok for our clients, generally. You know, if it is TikTok, then we have to do a different strategy, okay? And there's just some examples, okay? Now, you won't do any of this hot stuff because that's generally our realms. However, we'll talk about that in the future. Yeah, so these are all things that you probably won't do. All right, cool. And then we've got the cadence that we talk about in terms of how we do the 4x4 and so forth. Now, we'll give you a bit more training on this in the future because this will take some time. So that's probably enough, Ellie. I'll actually just click on the action plan maybe because that's our content system. And then the action plan, you'll see that the very end of the thing, you'll come up with this. This is important, okay? Now, you can start filling in this because it could be, month one, we're going to get set up for success and we're going to do this and we're going to do this and we're going to do this. And then month two, maybe you start creating content, and month three, you can do this. So they might have things in mind over the 6 months, but we're trying to design, the goal of this marketing plan is that there's a 6-month sprint. And as you can see, it's not super detailed, like it says run a web class, right? And if that web class moves from June to July, that's okay. But if we don't list it down, then the client doesn't know what we're doing. Okay, so it's kind of almost goals, marketing goals here. And then we take this into another system called Notion where we do, you know, the detail. Now, you won't use Notion. You know, I think that's a bit too complicated for what you need to do. You just need to track your activity on a spreadsheet or something like that, okay? And task lists and so forth. You can even do it on email, to be honest. It's not that complicated. You won't have that much to do. All right, so this is just a summary of the slides. Yours won't be 86 pages. Yours will be 40 pages, and we'll give you the template. But we just need you to think about it, research it, work with the client to gather as much data, and then get us to help you complete it. Once you've got a plan, then we can start to go to market, right? Cool. All right, so I'm just going to hand over to Pearly. She's going to talk about sort of ways of working. So go ahead.
Yep, thanks, Andrew. Before I jump into it, just wanted to say congratulations to those who have been selected by the WIP participants and have been matched with them. They give a really good feedback on, you know, when they go through your video and your LinkedIn profile, they give us really feedback on your skills and your like motivated attitude towards the work that you're going to do for them. So well done on that. So now I'm going to show you just the ways of working on, you know, how we're going to work on the internal review together versus how the client approval process gonna look like. And thanks, Annie, for, you know, working with me on this slide deck as we updated last week. Okay. Sorry, it might take a while. Can you?
No, not working. Can you close that? Want me to get up?
Yeah, I managed to log into it. Sorry.
So
So we were creating the slide on Hello as also start Canva.
In any full month?
say
Say
it
it
again.
again, sorry.
Oh, that's working.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna swipe down to the ways of working slides. Okay. There's multiple slides in here, so bear with me. So here is the internal review communication process that I wanna bring up. I think Andrew already briefly mentioned about this, that whenever you receive a brief or a deliverable that you expected from the client, it's always good to create your own version of brief as well. So in order to do that, we would love for you to create that file within CampusLife Drive folder, which I'll share with you the intern login later, so that you can access to the Drive, creating your own Drive folder, and then all the work that you created, all the files, just store in there for future references. And I write here on how you can name the file as well. So so we know that when is the day that the file is created, what is the client that you're working on, and also the name of the task on the file name as well, so we can keep track of it. So whenever we need to look up like the client, that specific client work or the task, we can just easily search it up, and it will appear on our search results. Next thing is it's always good to have another person to have a look on the brief or the work that you produce. That's why we match you with another buddy. So any work that you created, just send it to your buddy to review your work, so you can catch any mistake, make it even stronger on the work, and then you can send the work to me via hello@campuslife.com.au, and please allow 2 to 3 days for me to review as well. So it's always good to plan ahead, because I can't get back to you like within like an hour. So if you about to I'll try my best, but yeah, allow 2 to 3 days for me to review. Yeah, and that is the internal review communication process, just so we have multiple eyes to look on the brief, on the work, before we deliver it to clients. And then now coming into client approval process. So after we have the internal approval, you will then email the brief or the deliverables to the client so that they can review it. And again, it might take a few days for them to review your work and provide detailed feedback to you. After you receive their feedback, you can then make any edits and then send it back to them for review. And then they might have a few days to review it again and provide any further feedback to you. You can then make final edits, send it back to them for review, and after they approve it, we can then proceed with publishing the content or finalize the work. I put the published content TBD here because in case the client would like to manage the publishing content, or they would like for you to do it, because for you to publish the content, they might need to give you the access to their social media platforms. So in the onboarding meeting, I think it's always good to check with them whether they are comfortable to share the login access to you, or they're happy to manage their own. Is there any question on that? Okay, let me stop sharing now.
That sounds pretty nice and clear. Thank you, Pearlie. Do you have slides you're going to send to them about that? Or
yeah, well, me and Andy want to finalize the slides, and then we'll send it to you so that you can keep track of it.
Yeah. So what we're going to do in the next week is, obviously you'll be onboarded to your people you're working with. We're going to set up Canva. We're also going to set up a premium version of ChatGPT, so you can use that to do work for the client. I know we use it all the time. We want to keep the records in there so that if, let's say that you're working at Enviro Waste, for instance, as a new client, and you're creating content, then your buddy, say you, I don't know, get sick or you go away for a week or something, your buddy can go and use the same ChatGPT record, and it's already got the knowledge in there to go and create content, or Pearl can go in there and check it. So it's just much easier if we have it all in one spot, because we need centralized record keeping so that we can keep an eye on it and those sorts of things. So there'll be a few things we have to work out as we go through the process, being the first intake. But we'll, just give us feedback and as we go through. The other thing just to mention is, and I know we're going 3 minutes over, but instead of everyone sending Pearly a separate message, if you put the message in the WhatsApp group, then other people may be able to answer it before she gets to it. So that means other people can see if they've got a question, she can have the answer, and that means everyone sees the answer, which means it stops 5 of the same questions going to her at once. So just a bit more efficient. Is that okay, Pearly? I thought that might be a good way to do it. Cool. Yeah, Mamina?
Nothing, Andrew. I think the only thing I would like to add is I already created a WhatsApp group with the Bob interns and the buddies. So anything related to the program can be, obviously sent to that WhatsApp group. We are still working on if we should have separate WhatsApp groups with each client and intern, which is obviously we have to ask the client if it's their preferred way of working or not. But just again, nudging you all to reply to all the emails. I know only one of you have got in touch with the participant. Everyone has given their availability, so please reply. Introduce yourself. Just reply, because I send them messages, emails, I think yesterday, Pearly. Yeah. So just reply to the participants, ask them what time they're available at. They actually have given me their availability, so just liaise with them. Take initiative. Sarah already booked a meeting with Angus, and Shweta already reached out to Brian as well. So I'm hoping that you guys reach out to your clients ASAP. That's it.
Yeah. And also, thanks for sending your pitch process through as well. I'll spend some time tomorrow to review it and get back to you. And I think you can use it as a guide when you have a first meeting with your client to introduce yourself and position you, as another resources to help them to bring the vision into life. So yeah.
Cool. All right. So that was a bit of a power session. We will see you on the calls tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. And then obviously the next week, there's the Wednesday session, but the Thursday session will be moved because we've got the event. So we've got to organise that with the participants. All right, and the Thursday afterwards as well. So we'll be sending comms out about that. Question. Go, Cherry.
You want to take that question, Pearly?
Yeah. So Jerry is asking regarding the matching process. So was allocated to the body intern with Cassie, and I was informed that I will be placed as a main intern with another client. May I ask when will the process will be finalized? So I think as Andrew mentioned before, we want to keep some of the interns available so that we can, when the opportunity arises with social star clients, we'll match you with them. Yeah. But for now, we have been already matching all the interns with the WIP participant already. So whenever new opportunities arise, we'll match you with them.
Yeah, it's a bit about digestion. So we've got a lot of people being matched and so forth right now. We've also got a lot of people that we want to bring on to work with other social star clients. It's just a time thing. We've only got limited time to go through the process, and we don't want to do too much all at once. You right there, Rob? You exercising? You're dancing. So joyful. Yeah. So yeah, we will aim to match everybody. It's just it just takes us time. So probably my limit. Well, we're all busy actually. So running these events, it just happens to be at the same time as we're running numerous events. and we'd love your support on those events as well. So if you can come along, it'd be great to see you. So yeah, all right. Well, that's all. We have gone over time, but I do appreciate your messages. Any other messages, please do just post it in the group. And
Laura has raised her hand though.
oh, she has to. Go ahead. You're on mute though.
Sorry. I was just wondering, because I've been paired with a social stuff client, not a big Bob client, what will the difference be? And also, should I be booking a meeting with them soon, or I just want to know what I should be doing there?
Yes. So you always have to wait for us. So we did the marketing presentation last week. We've got a meeting with them tomorrow.
Okay, great. And you mentioned that at the start of the meeting, you said there might be 2 people working with them. Does that mean there'll be 2 buddies as well, or just 1 buddy?
Depends. So they've sort of been a bit loose in what their requirements are. So they inquired about the, getting an intern. I thought, great, gave them the price, thought they were going to just do it straight away, but they were kind of waiting because we've got a bigger plan. And so it depends how much requirements are in that bigger plan. If it was 2, then you would get buddies each, and because you still need to review other people's work. Yeah. So are you a buddy with anyone else on a Bob client yet?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, cool. So what we'd do is you'd be the primary on this, and then you'd buddy up with someone on something else. We probably would make it different to the person you're working with daily in the business, just to give an external approach, right? The more feedback you can get, the more support you can get, the better, to be honest, because there's a lot, I know this from bringing on interns into this company. They need a lot of support when they first start. So yeah, so we'll let you know. So we've already put you forward. I don't want to place, that's why we haven't placed it with anyone else, because we've already put you forward to the client. They've already said that they'd like you, but we're just waiting for the sales process to go through. So
okay, that's great. Thank you.
Cool. All right. I think we better kick off because it's time. But good to see you all. Keep the conversation going, and we'll see you in the next couple of calls.
See you guys.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.